Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Turnabout podcast. I am Poe from the Teletubby, aka the Red Teletubby. I just checked.
I asked you if you were gonna do the intro first because I wanted to say it.
What did you want to say? What were you about to say?
I was gonna say, according to a priest in the US, I am a satanic Teletubby.
Telepathy once again. It's
Starting off.
Spooky. Yeah. Very spooky.
And welcome back to Turnabout
podcast. Season 2. We've been back for like a while now.
Yes,
2
we
months-ish?
have. Yes, 2 months.
Yes.
September, October.
Yes.
We're almost one. Next week is our 1 year anniversary.
Before we begin, I have several announcements to make. First of all, spoilers alert.
Yes.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
Second announcement. There is no way that you guys would know this, but this past week was my birthday. And I received an incredible gift, which even like my wildest dream I never thought I would have. And something that we've discussed on this podcast. And I got a Switch from my birthday from Aris and my entire family.
Yes!
It was such a shock, but all of this to say, the greatest attorney, I'm coming for you. Yes.
Content is coming out
Hopefully.
soon. As we've mentioned, I've been struggling with playing it, so I think this will be like a fire under my ass.
Hopefully. Where are you at in the story right now? Second case?
I'm midway through the second case, so I think I'm gonna replay it with you. And we have some exciting stuff coming up. We're not gonna say what.
Yeah.
But it's... I think it's not something which is expected.
No. Definitely not.
But yeah. So what's the other announcement?
That was all. Spoiler warning, the Switch. That was all, right? Was there anything else we needed to say?
No, I think that was all.
We talked about the mirror playing investigation last week, right?
Yes, and the fact that I'm almost done with the stolen.
True.
I have not changed...
A struggle.
I have not changed my stance on the stolen. And I've actually messaged you on this.
Yeah, and I agreed.
Basically, I thought it was because of sentimental... an aspect of sentimentality. But it was not.
It's all about structure.
There's just too much going on. Way too much in the backstory. And I've played it with a clear mind, and I still don't get it. The pieces don't come together as smoothly. Because there's a million things.
Yeah.
Who was blackmailing who? Who got murdered?
And I remember when we started this podcast. Now I know it because we've discussed it so much. But I couldn't remember what the murder was for that case. I couldn't even remember Ken Bullard. And I feel like usually I remember the victims. That's not something, because you talk about it so much, but with Ken Bullard, it happened so late into the case, and I remember being so confused, I couldn't even pinpoint his office, there's weird lights.
With the safe.
Yeah.
Fuck Ken Bullard.
So, weird structure, and just confusing plot. I think for me, it's a bad case, and I don't vibe with it, but I can also see why people would really like it. Kind of they could get past the bad structure because the characters are fun.
And there's a lot of spectacle as well, a thief.
It's very camp.
Yes, exactly. The campiness of the costume.
Yeah.
Look at me being camp.
Desiree.
Yes. Being hot.
Just even Larry being there. You know what I mean? Those kind of
Adrian such a throwaway cameo.
I feel like the
Adrian
characters...
Andrews too.
Yeah.
Why are they back?
It's the characters are good. No matter what you use. So I could see why people would like it, but I think for me it's overall...
Even if I hate Ron the Light, I have to admit it's pretty amusing.
it's one of those cases where every single character is memorable.
Like the new ones.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about how Larry is a forgettable cameo in that. Yeah. Especially because he shows up at Bridge too.
I feel like he could have easily been in the second game and not that case.
Yes.
I think that would have been more balanced.
Like, instead of Acro and Bat, not Acro and Bat, Benjamin Woodman, if Larry was the ventriloquist.
That would have been, and that would have fit so nicely.
Yes. Okay. Enough. Stolen Turnabout.
That's just the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Today, as you may have seen on the title, we're going back into specifics.
Yeah.
We are doing first case villains.
Something inspired by me replaying
Investigations.
The first case, and kind of... I had a thought about the first case in general. I was kind of comparing it to first case of Investigation 2. And also the introduction to Ghost Trick. Because like those are the two most recent game I've played.
Oh, Ghost Trick.
Ghost Trick.
I miss it.
Me too.
Did you bring it? Okay.
Yeah. So I was thinking about those, and that led to this episode today.
So yes. Today we're doing first case villains, and we're gonna be starting with ranking, and then we have questions. But because they're just 8 characters, we are going to go with 7 to 8 questions instead of the normal 5.
Yeah.
But first, Bestie Lucie,
the
Bestie
artist.
Sock.
So this week's artist is ajihaew.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we're saying it right. ajihaew.
Yeah.
So she's an artist. She's a really good artist. We really like your art. You were saying something about it resembling like...
It reminds me a lot. It's very reminiscent of retro anime. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure which cartoon. It's that cartoon of like that boy who has a weirdly shaped head. If anyone knows
with, like, very prominent cheeks.
Yes.
Yeah. Please
comment it below. I've been trying to find it before this episode and I can't. But yeah, it reminds me of retro anime. You just want to jump straight into favorites.
Absolutely. I think my favorite was the kind of Fae family portrait.
Yeah.
With all of the Fae girls.
Right.
I love that so much.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was so sweet. And I love the color palette. It felt very unified. I loved how she included Iris.
I love purple and yellow.
I know, it was so cute, and I love how she made like all of their hair purple. I think it worked really well, and there was a sense of unity. We have a bit of a different hair color in this family, so I liked this kind of unity, and I really liked Iris being in it. I love her, and so it was just and
she deserves better.
Fae.
Yeah, she deserves better.
I wish she was mentioned in the letter game, because apart from the Phoenix and her thing, she's still Maya's cousin.
Yes.
Like,
she's Pearl's sister.
She's Pearl's sister. Like, did they stay in touch?
Like, it's the Mia to Pearl's Maya.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And another one that I really liked was the Reva portrait.
Okay, that was one of my favorites as well.
She looks so regal.
And I love the staff.
I love it as well.
I love the colors used.
The stance as well, just like the pose.
Power move.
Power
pose.
And the stare down.
I love the outfit. Honestly, like the bells on the like sleeves. It's just really nice. Really nice work.
That's really good. What was the other one you liked?
Well, that was my one favorite, and the other one was the like desserts.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The Apollo Justice desserts. I feel like those are the desserts each of them would like.
You think?
Yes.
Yes, agreed.
Like, I'm not sure if that is matcha, but Emma definitely likes matcha. Like, yeah.
For sure. And yeah, Kristoph definitely enjoys crepes.
Yes.
That's just like a given.
But yeah, it's very, very cute. I feel like
Mm.
it's also representative.
And I feel is it a mug cake for Phoenix?
Maybe. Or
And
like cup brownie.
But I think it's a cup brownie, like something that you made in a mug, and I think that's so him. I don't think they would own like an oven.
Especially in that game.
Yeah, so he would have to make his cake in mugs in like a microwavable version of it, and
No.
I
He
could
wouldn't
see
have
that.
like an oven.
Of course he wouldn't have an oven. He would do it in the microwave.
Ma'am. Yeah. I wouldn't trust Apollo Justice Phoenix with cooking anything for me.
I think that would result in an explosion.
I think even if I had eaten the scraps, it would have resulted in food poisoning.
Yes.
You have a lot of experience with that.
Yes. Every time I eat something slightly wrong, I get food poisoning.
Just for context, since I've met Lucy, I think like she's had food poisoning over 10 times or something.
Like the first year we met, I had it like 6 or 7 times.
It's insane.
Yeah.
You're so susceptible.
I'm very sensitive. I think I should start taking vitamin for like better gut
Yes.
health. Yeah. If you have any good vitamins for gut health, drop it in the comments. Let us know.
Not to take away from ajihaews.
No, yeah. But
Work.
so thank you so much for letting us feature your work.
I really like the chibi work as well. Like
Definitely.
it's so cute.
It's so cute, and it works really well. I just like the eyes, the whole vibe of it. I think it's so adorable. It works, and the color palettes.
Yes.
It's really good.
Brilliant colors.
Thank you for letting us feature your work.
Thank you so much.
ajihaew. Thank you so much. Please go follow her. We'll link her Twitter below.
And everything.
She's very active.
Tumblr,
everything.
yes.
Yeah. Thank you once again.
So yeah, thank you very much.
Shall we move on to the episode?
Yes.
First case villains.
Absolutely.
Love them. Hate them. Loathe them.
I actually hate most of them, so
Do you?
I kind of struggled with the ranking because I just, apart from a few ones which I love, I was like, the other ones, how do I rank people who are so
Yeah. Do you want to begin with your ranking?
Sure. I'll go opposite. Countdown.
Bottom to top.
Yes, from least favorite to favorite. At number 8, actually, I have a little note here. I'm really sad that we're recording this episode at this time because I wish you would even just the first episode of DGS have played it, because I think the first villain of the DGS would rank in my top 3.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
very interesting.
Looking forward to that. And obviously, now that Lucy's got her copy of the game and the Switch, we're gonna redo some of the ideas we've done. Preferably when we're apart, because it doesn't really call for us being together.
Yeah.
We have some really special episodes coming up. Some of them we mentioned, others we haven't. But I feel like going back to some of our older episode ideas and redoing them with the DGS, like character ranking, like first case villains, for example, we can easily do including the DGS characters.
Definitely.
So, with that out of the way,
we could do a villain episode for DGS.
Yes.
And talk about first case villain in this one.
So, at number 8 is Ted Tonate.
Okay.
Why?
It wasn't the one I was expecting.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. No. It's just a no for me. It's just forgettable.
Okay.
Number 7, Richard Wellington.
Oh, okay.
We have very different lists, don't we? I
don't feel like it's not detective list different.
What?
Detective list when I had Lynn. It's not that different, but it's yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Ted Tonate, Richard Wellington. annoying. Just, yeah. Number 6, Piss Lubin Understanding.
His name is Piss.
Sir, you are a poor imitation of Jesus Christ. Not an Ace Attorney villain.
Yeah.
Take your guitar.
Shove it up your ass.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shove it up your ass. At number 5 is Jacques Sportsman. Or else, Lonely Island, We Like Sports.
Did you listen to it?
You showed me it.
Yeah. That's him.
Yes. Who doesn't actually like sports.
No.
That is canon now.
Yeah. He's faking it.
Yes.
He went to school with like some very athletic kids, and that's how he feel like he started having friends, and so
it's based out of bullying.
Yeah.
Because they bullied him for not liking sports.
Exactly. So he like in college he didn't know anybody from his high school, so he's like, I can be whoever I want. And in that process he lost himself.
Such a tragedy.
Jack.
Villain origins confirmed.
Exactly.
Number 5 is Jack Sportsman. Number 4, Bestie Sock, is indeed Kristoph Gavin. Because he does have a more major role, so he's a bit more fleshed out.
Yeah.
But as a first villain, he sucked. Maybe not as bad as the others, like he didn't get on my nerves. Because it was an interesting concept to have the man
mentor
standing next to you and your mentor be the villain. But yeah, not that amusing. And number 3, now we're getting into my favorites.
Excellency territory.
Number 3, it is very much my husband and lover. And that we've established, that is the Cardi B album cover, colors and checkered background.
It was like Invasion of Privacy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Horace Knightley, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We got
Horace
him.
Knightley. Yes.
Adele being a constant reference on this
we love Adele.
podcast. We are a parody.
We actually are comedians.
Yes.
Pretending to be characters.
We haven't actually played Ace Attorney.
We're not even... I'm not even French. Oh. It's all an act.
Yes. So yeah. I just thought it was kind of unexpected as well. So kudos. I liked how it was a locked room mystery.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually from inside the plane. And it wasn't actually Shelly the killer, which was a nice change. Because I was like, oh,
yeah,
it's the assassin. Obviously, it was not. At number 2 is the OG. Frank saw it.
Okay.
You can't surpass the OG. Except...
Especially because we replayed it.
Yes.
A few days ago.
Yes.
That wig throw.
Absolutely.
Sublime.
I can't believe you haven't played it since...
So long. Yeah.
The
last time I played it was probably... I played in year 1. Because I
uni.
tried to show it to Lisa. Or to my roommate. So I played it with her. So I do remember that. Yeah.
I told you I've played it at least 10 times this year.
That's so funny.
But he cannot surpass number 1, which is Dahlia Hawthorne. I mean, it just speaks for itself, ladies and gentlemen.
It absolutely does.
Yes.
Brilliant.
1,000,000%. So, without further ado, Bestie Sokiana, would you like to take over?
Yes. So my number 8, my bottom was Peace, Love, and Understanding.
Okay. Did you think that would be mine as well?
I thought so. I just don't like it. It annoyed me. Frustrated me.
He overstayed his welcome.
Yes. Then, Jack Sportsman. I don't like him, even though we've created this whole backstory for him.
And you've replayed it recently.
And I think that's why I put him so low, because I was just like... It wasn't giving me anything. Like, it wasn't... It was just very mild. For 6, I put Kristoph Gavin. Just, he doesn't like... It's such a bold move to put him as the villain, but I don't feel like he lives up to this place.
Yeah,
and
because
it's not well executed.
They didn't put in the work.
Yeah, and it's not that big of a twist because you've known him for like 5 minutes. You have no relationship with that dude.
That, like, Turnabout Trump for me will always be Lucie saying it's a roach.
It's so bad.
After the last episode.
I hate it so much. And also, what annoys me, the potential could have been amazing. Imagine you get to the end of the game, you find it's your mentor, like, wow, your father figure, blah, 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 blah. It could have been so good, but it wasn't.
It was not.
Number 5 is Richard Wellington.
Okay.
Kind of same as you, like, meh. I do like him in a way. That's why he's, like, quite high. Like, he's so dumb. Like, he's so camp in a way. Like, he's so cartoonish. The man strangled himself with his own scarf. Couldn't see bananas. Tried, like, hit the lawyer in the head with a fire extinguisher 5 minutes before, like, the audacity of this man, like,
and manages to somehow swap phones.
I feel like we would be friends in a way, and I feel like he would always be late for brunch.
See, no, and as opposed to that, I think he'd be one of our flatmates.
And he would have very loud sex in the covenant.
No.
I think that's what would happen. And then for 4th, I put Tetonate. I kind of like Tetonate. He's unhinged. The man is crazy. The man threatens to, like, explode the whole building. Like, he's insane. So, and, like, as much as I put the others so low because they don't scream first case villain. Richard Wellington and Tetonate for me scream first case villain. Okay. Like, kind of unhinged character who are kind of easy to find out because they're so crazy. Then we get to my top 3, which is same people as you, not the same order.
Okay.
Number 3 is Dahlia. I know, I was shocked.
What?
However, she's the best. I love her so much. Is she the epitome of a first case villain for me? No. Hence, I tried to put her as high as I could.
Did you rank based on how first case villainy they are?
Because kind of a mix of that and my feelings for them, because I do feel like Peace, Love and Understanding is quite first case villain, but I just hate him, so I put him last. Okay. But I couldn't put her first, or otherwise I would have, because she is truly my favorite. Second for me is Horace Knightley.
I'm shocked. I'm truly shocked.
He's an excellent first case villain because he's not. It's not like he's relevant enough in the next cases that he's like, oh, he's like the final case villain, so I couldn't put him as first case. But he, like, I love that the next victim is him. Like,
it's him, yeah.
He's linked throughout the story, but he still remains, for me, the first case villain. And it was super satisfying finding him out. Like, I really like that case.
You've never supported me shipping him with myself, so I'm shocked he's in second.
It's kind of growing on me. I'm kind of starting to because, like, he's had a rough childhood. Maybe he went to therapy a little, but just like comparing with replaying the first case of Investigation 1 and having played Investigation 2 like ish last year, it made me realize, like, Investigation 2 is much better. Like, the first case is so much better, and I was thinking, like, oh, it has an unfair advantage because it's, like, so interactive and you're actually there, but they could have done the same thing with the first case in Investigation 1. I just feel like when you compare the two, there's a clear winner. Yeah. And my first one is Frank Saw It.
Of course.
He's the epitome, he's the legend. I love him so much. He's so funny. He throws a wig. He's toupee as you, and I love that case. I really love it.
As soon as you said Dahlia Hawthorne is third, I knew this was coming.
Of course.
And you love his cameo in Prison so much as well. I loved it.
I was so happy when I saw him. I was like, oh, I was so
It's happy. The legend himself.
It's your girl.
It's your girl, Frank Saw It.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Can I just say it out loud? Should I start since I have 8 and you have 7?
Can I keep that in?
Yeah. Just me whispering, trying to be like, can I start? I wish you could have seen that. I was also making loads of hand gestures.
So Lucie has 8,
yeah,
and I have 7. So you can go first.
Who's the dumbest?
Who's the dumbest?
Yes.
Man, that is an unhinged question.
It was the first thing that came into my mind. I was like, what do I want to ask? Who's the dumbest?
The dumbest. The thing is that as soon as you asked, I didn't even process what you said. Just lively people started playing in my brain.
Yeah.
No. When I'm editing this, it's gonna get stuck in my head. I
Forever.
Promise. Dumbest. I'd originally go with Richard Wellington because of how you introduced him as well. But I'm sorry. It has to be Kristoph. It has to be Kristoph.
Yeah.
We've discussed this before. You murder someone and you go to their trial. You might as well just confess on the stand.
Could you imagine?
I'd book a fucking 3-month vacation.
You know who was not dumb? Manfred von Karma, who got the fuck out of here as soon as he... That's how he got away with it. Could you imagine? Because if it wasn't there, he would have never been caught.
Manfred von Karma would be a villain in Scooby-Doo. Like, dressed up, haunting the fort. And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
For some reason, I was like, I feel like his mask would just be a replica of his head, but just bigger. Just like him.
It's the ghost of Manfred von Karma.
Then they remove it, it's just Manfred von Karma. Like the fucking narcissist that he is. Oh my god. He couldn't bear having a second identity.
No. Imagine walking in a spooky, dark courthouse at night and spotting Manfred von Karma, a large-headed Manfred von Karma at the end of the...
I would shit my pants.
You're walking me home after this.
Yeah.
No, for me, it's Kristoph. Richard is more of a Looney Tunes character.
Yeah.
Kristoph is actually stupid.
And Kristoph is like very real-life stupid. Like
the stamp.
Human stupidity.
The stamp. How did you think that would work?
That's how he murdered somebody?
The poison stamp.
That was him?
Yeah. He sent it to the missions.
Oh my fucking... The man
because
is...
Mission was the guy who...
Yeah, he ordered for the fake evidence. I remember now. But just like, some characters in Ace Attorney, like, exactly how you described it, Looney Tunes villain.
Yes.
However, Kristoph is like your uncle who committed felony but was caught because he's so dumb, but he thinks he is clever. You know what I mean? Like he's like a conspiracy theorist, and he thinks he has it all figured out, and he was plotting something, and he didn't realize that if you type in like how to build a bomb, the FBI would show up at his door. Like, you know what I mean? Like very human stupidity.
The way you went into specifics now has me thinking that Kristoph is who Doja is addressing in Ain't Shit, because you said that she says that your cousin told me that, which is oddly specific, like it can't be not true. And
I definitely... That's so true.
I whenever I listen to that song, I remember you distinctly telling me that it's too specific. Your cousin told me that for it to be a lie.
Yeah.
So now I'm just thinking it's Kristoph.
Yeah, that's my theory. I think Ancient is like a genuine song targeted at someone.
To Kristoph.
And we now know.
Yes.
Oh, I remember what was one of the warnings that we had at first.
What?
Phoenix is Scottish.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. A small interlude for you.
A small interlude. Went to Scotland this weekend for the first time ever. Was lovely. If we have any Scottish listener, went to Edinburgh, had a lot of fun. Wasn't like
You went to Edinburgh, love.
I went to Edinburgh. Edinburgh.
Just as making the Adele accent when she's at the Cohdopian embassy in investigations. She's invited to the banquet.
Thanks, love. Don't need any more of your flyers. Have you seen there's been a guy murdered? There's a tree running around.
When I was editing that episode, you say, I accidentally caught that guy while I was taking a selfie. I burst out laughing.
Adele needs to be.
Adele was at the banquet.
Oh my god, you know what we should do? I have an idea for an episode.
Yes.
Build our own case with celebrities.
Okay.
Like who's killed, who's the killer, or the witness, where it's set.
I'm adding that to the list now. So carry on. You went to Edinburgh.
I went to like a We Love Scotland kind of shops where there was like tons of kilts. And I was looking at the family armories. There were like keychains of them. And there's a Wright clan. Spelled the same way as Phoenix. Which led me to this conclusion.
She bought me a keyring.
Yeah, I bought it for you because I was like, Aris needs to have this.
And I do.
Phoenix is Scottish.
He might have Scottish ancestors.
I think so. I think that's it.
Even though we have DGS.
He's half Scottish, I feel like. I feel like from his dad's side, that's GGS, but I feel like his mom is like... I feel like he's a quarter Scottish and like his mom is half Scottish.
But I think DGS are his parents. Like his... This is not a spoiler because I'm talking out of my ass.
That recent? But that's not possible.
Not his parents, I mean his ancestors.
Yeah,
the assistant, the assistant and the...
Ah, so we're finally gonna have a love story between the assistant and the...
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see, but I feel like, there's been I feel like there's a Spanish dude in there. In his lineage.
Spanish?
Scottish dude.
I'm a mangrel of a man.
Yes.
Okay, so then after that big interlude...
We go back to who's the dumbest. So you've said Kristoph.
Yes. What do you say, bestie?
I said Richard Wellington.
Okay.
Yeah. But I just wanted to go back because I think that's where we were. Ancient is about Kristoph.
Yes.
And the more I think about it, it makes sense. Go get a fucking job.
But honestly...
I should have keyed your car.
It could also be about Shilong. Because he just fits all this context.
He does. I feel like he's the epitome. But I feel like people would think it's about Shilong because it's so unexpected.
But actually...
But actually it's about Kristoph. Because Doja Cat has weird taste in dudes.
That's true.
And I feel like Shilong doesn't talk to his cousins.
He does not.
And I feel like Kristoph has like 30 cousins. All dressed in like Germanic uniform. You know what I mean?
I keep thinking of that picture I sent you like maybe over a year ago. It's Jeffree Star dressed as Kristoph.
If they do live action, Jeffree Star has to play Kristoph.
They're like, Jeffrey, you're gonna come out with the receipts and you have to be ready to forgive. I am nothing like that.
That's on me.
We've almost reached a year of doing this shit. We have to summarize our references. It started off with Yes. Yes, I'm gonna put it up on screen.
Yeah. Do you want me to send it to you now? So
sure.
You have it.
It started off with Pooja.
Yeah.
We kept saying Pooja a lot in our first episodes.
We also have I'm Awesome by Suppose.
Oh, that's a good one. Hard Girl by Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, that was one that we said all the time. What else? I feel like we had so much more.
Well, the Jeffree Star.
Jeffree Star. We had the one that was like Thank you for that. That was really helpful. You know what I mean? Like, that was like a TikTok thing. Oh, let me just find it for a second. It's gonna drive me insane.
We're digressing a lot this episode.
Yeah.
And I low-key love it.
It's how you know it's a good episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
When the timestamps are chaotic, that's when you know it's a good episode.
That's a really good point, Diane. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Thank you.
You don't remember
also,
we used to
Diane,
always say this?
Really
No.
That's
a really good point, Diane. Thank you for bringing that up.
You've been an amazing group leader.
We used to, like, December-ish of last year.
I know what it is because you showed it to me, but I don't remember saying it. I feel like we forgot so many of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is your first question? Best issue.
Bessie Sock, my first question is a very basic one. Who would you like to see more of or give a bigger case to and as such a backstory? So basically, who would you promote? And obviously, Dahlia and Kristoph kind of don't count.
As well as Frank Side and Aris Knightley, because they do come.
Well, not really. Because they have minimum roles.
With
so
the
if you
conversation we've had,
yeah.
Richard Wellington,
No.
I think could be funny.
No.
Imagine Richard Wellington in prison. I'd feel like he'd be somehow running it, accidentally running it.
Industry, baby.
Yeah. Industry, baby. Exactly it.
Okay.
Yeah, what about you? Who would you say?
Honestly, peace, love, and understanding.
Shocking.
I want to see what lies he fed to the Kurainis.
Yeah.
Because a few weeks ago, I don't remember which episode it was, because we haven't recorded in a week, in 2 weeks. We mentioned that he lied when he showed up to Kurain and said he invented rock music. So I want to know what other lies he made up. Like, maybe he could... They're so gullible there that he could have come up with anything. Like, I shit this food. He brought airport snacks and said, this is my feces, but it tastes great.
Yeah, I'm an actual alien. I've told you about, like, those Harry Potter musicals that I love.
Yes.
In them, Gilderoy Lockhart is pretending to have written Lord of the Ring in the magic world because they don't have access to it. And he pretended he wrote, like, Aladdin and Lord of the Rings. And I always thought that was the funniest shit. And I could see him do something like that. Like, I wrote this book.
Yes.
It's called Titanic.
It's called the Bible.
And all of the characters are my name. He would actually pretend he's Jesus. I would love to see that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
What is your next question then?
Who should have gotten away with it?
And I wouldn't have gotten away with it too.
If it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Manfred. Horace.
That's my response as well.
I'm sorry.
Shockingly.
I know, it's shocking, the sympathy. The just like, I did not see this coming.
Yeah.
This episode.
Because most of them are still alive. Like, Dahlia is probably dead.
His death was so untimely.
His death was so unexpected. And we've discussed it so much with Freshwater Pirate fan art.
Oh, our first artist.
I want to see that so badly. Like Simon Keys and I feel like he could have had a redemption arc. You know what I mean?
Yes, he could.
So, yeah.
That could be like what could have convinced Simon to stop his villainy.
Yeah.
If they brought Horace in the end.
Exactly.
So my next question is the opposite of the first, and I say, which villain would you demote to a first case status?
Just like a...
Well, from not this list.
First case status.
Like who from...
Would you remove from the game?
No. From all the other villains, who would you give a first case to? Who belongs on this list?
Okay. Well, it's not a bad thing, but I think Frank's Lot is perfect for the first case. But I don't want to say I demote him, though.
I don't think you got the question.
No, I don't think I have either. If all of them were higher up.
No. From the other villains.
Oh!
Yes.
Who would I demote to the first case?
Like,
That's really
their own
interesting.
case. Not, like, replace these people.
So make them kind of less interesting.
Yeah, like a first case villain.
No one from the first game for sure. Because I feel like they're all excellent.
I don't feel like you choose anyone from the trilogy either.
Can you say your answer?
I'm thinking Florent Labelle.
Ooh, that would be a good first case villain. That's
Because
true.
he's not that interesting and it's
And
only visuals.
lively people.
Oh, that too. And I don't want monsters turnabout, so it'd be great if it was just Court.
Yeah. Damien Crescent for some reason comes to mind. As
Oh.
well. You know what I mean? Like that kind
It's-
of very out there vibe.
They are answers. What they have in common is that these characters kind of depend on visuals rather than an interesting story.
Exactly.
Boner hair, looks like the Joker.
Yeah, they could work completely removed from the story arc.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Side note,
Yeah.
can we turn off the heater?
Yeah.
Because it's boiling. My ears
Are
are
you okay,
about.
Nikki?
No.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
You must not understand anything. But
No, but it's just so funny. It's like you guys being yourself, but on a podcast. So it's like
we don't put
it's
on
like,
a
It's
show.
like all our conversations,
Yeah,
but about things I have no idea what they are.
That's how we've started. We're meeting every week and discussing the game. We're like, we should just record this, and that's what we're doing. We're not like trying our hardest to make like interesting.
It's
content.
just
We
discussion.
talk. Yeah,
I would just listen to this to hear.
Aww.
Thank you.
That's so sweet.
Okay. You want a break? Okay.
My next question is. This is how I phrased it, and I'm gonna explain myself. Do length equates quality of a character? I don't know why I phrased it like that, but in my head that's how it came out. And I reread it, and I was just like, what the fuck? But what I was trying to say is, do you think the longer the first case is, the better the first case villain is, because you get to see more of them?
This podcast has truly changed you in ways that I cannot recognize you anymore.
I've come to the dark side.
You've
of
ascended.
Yeah, fully.
I think it does. Not necessarily length, but these people on this list kind of carry the stink of being first case villains.
Yeah.
And Dahlia, who you love, you've ranked third. Because I think we don't consider her a first case villain.
Because she's so good and complex.
And she's so much more. Exactly. So I feel like length, like for example, Turnabout Storyteller, the villain, I wouldn't say she's a first case villain, but I do think length incorporates into that. But it's not, these people specifically, it's not that they're bad quality characters, it's just that they have that label of being the first. And Peace, Love, and Understanding had a double scene and he's very low on both lists. He had the longest length.
Yeah.
So I don't think it equates. It's just more about the label of coming first.
I agree. I think that also because they're first case villain, you know they're the villain immediately.
Exactly.
So it kind of removes that element of like having to piece it together.
Oh, I'm so excited for you to play DGS now that you've said that because they changed it up.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
That's exciting. But I think that compared to the other villain, yes. However, within the list, I think the longest case on here is investigation or like the later cases. And for instance, Frank Side for me is an excellent villain. In that case, he's so short, so I don't think it like equates to like. If you have a good character, even if the case is short, it's gonna be good. Like Peace, Love, and Understanding had a very long case and still was kind of meh. But compared to the other villain, yeah, it does affect it for sure.
Nice.
What is your next question, Bestie?
The first, I've told you this, the first case of DGS is 3 parts. Yeah. So...
Wow.
I'm really excited now that you're getting to play it.
Yeah, okay.
It's gonna spark some interesting...
conversations.
Yes.
Yeah.
My third question, Bestie Sock, is... You might want to write this down. I said, rank these elements from what you think makes a first case villain most memorable to least. So we have their breakdown, the motive, the design, the murder method, the attorney, and the victim. So just make a list of what you think is more important to making a character more memorable to least.
For me, the first would be the design. Because it's like the one thing you really... It's the first thing you see, and it's one of the first few things that last, really.
Yeah.
Second for me would be breakdown. For me, that's really, really important. I guess third would be murder method.
Yeah.
Fourth would be victim, because I feel like sometimes there could be some interesting connections, and so that makes you remember them longer.
Okay.
Then attorney. I
Right.
don't really care about that one. And then lastly motive, because most of them are like, it was an accident.
Yeah, it was petty.
Yeah. What about you?
Okay. We have the same 2 first ones. I'm making it now. So give me just 1 second.
Of course.
But the third one is actually one that you've placed low.
Okay. Is it attorney?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's 6 things. Right? Number 1 is design and number 2 is breakdown.
Yeah.
Number 3 is attorney. Because I feel like, for me...
Yeah.
The investigations are distinctly Edgeworth's.
I get that.
And the Kristoph is distinctly Apollo's. At number 4, I have murder method. Although it doesn't vary a lot, it's just battery.
Yeah, there is some creative things though.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah.
Number 5 is victim. Because they all just kind of blend together.
Yeah.
I mean, Dustin Prince, Dog Swallows. What the fuck?
Mediocre man.
Yes. And number 6 is motive. Because it's all just like...
So we do have a similar ranking.
I'm happy you went with design first.
No, I agree. Because like when I think about them, it's just like I can see them.
Yes.
I can't really remember some specifics, but I can see them, definitely. My first question, we're at the middle point, is do they have anything in common? Is there like a common thread amongst all of them?
Can I say first case villains?
No.
Because I think that label really sticks. But if not, then I'd say the motive is very similar in this situations. Apart from like maybe some exceptions, like obviously Dahlia Hawthorne.
Yeah.
But like Frank Soyd, it was like by accident. Peace and Love and Understanding, it was just battery. Richard Wellington wanted like money or something.
Why did he do that?
I don't know.
Did you knew the guy?
I don't think so.
Weird.
Yeah, it just all blends together. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it's kind of like very hit or miss with first case villains, but I don't know. What would you say it would be?
So this was kind of linked to my first question. I was like, are they all dumb? But Dahlia Hawthorne is in this category. And so it got me thinking. I can't say they're all dumb. I think for me the common thread is their impatience. Mm-hmm. For me, that's what led all of them to murder.
Nice.
This kind of like call to action.
True.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking.
Yes, it is true. I mean, for you to show up at your own trial.
Exactly. That's kind of stupidity in a way.
Nice. Nice thinking.
What's your fifth question? Fourth question?
Fourth question. My fourth question, bestie Sock, is why do you think Dahlia Hawthorne returning works, but Kristoph Gavin returning doesn't?
I had a short answer because I was thinking about it. Dahlia isn't the final villain. It's Godot. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the final twist.
I don't agree with that. I'm sorry.
I feel like...
this debate was...
Really? I feel
do you
like...
remember? In
we discussed it. But we feel like if Dahlia was the villain, it would be lackluster. But since there's, like, this huge twist at the end of, like, who did it? You still have to figure it out. You still have to piece it together. And it's such a satisfying, like, ending.
It's kind of like Callisto You as well.
Exactly. Whereas, like, if it was just Dahlia, you would be disappointed the same way with Kristoph, because we're like, we've already figured it out twice that it's her. But because there's the Godot reveal, I feel like it works.
I even though I might not see eye to eye with Godot being the final villain, I do agree with what you said. But I also think it's the fact that we thought she was dead.
We thought she was dead, and also she's a really complex character.
Yes.
And there was a lot of questions unanswered by the time she died. Like, why was she dating Phoenix? Like, what happened to that? Why did she do this? What's up with the locket? She's such a complex character. You want to find out more, and it's satisfying when she comes back because you understand.
And also, not to excuse the bad writing of Kristoph, but Dahlia does show up in 2 cases.
So,
before the final one.
And I feel like...
the 2 Mia cases really flesh her out, which is what you said.
And she has way more personality than Kristoph.
Yes.
And it's way well-defined.
So I feel like she has both that and...
absolutely.
more opportunities to show it off. So, not to excuse the bad writing, but she does get more exposition, which is important.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
What's your answer? Kind of the same lines?
I agree. I hadn't thought of the Godot thing, but now that you've said it, it makes so much sense. I haven't really thought of my answers, but I don't know. For me, Kristoph is such a weak villain because we catch him in the first case, which is just 1 act. It doesn't lead anywhere. We're not given answers. His brother is the prosecutor. He gives us, again, no answers whatsoever. And then in the final case, once again, we get no answers. It's like really a struggle to like get this.
Who is this man? Why did he do
it? What are his motivations?
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad writing, yeah.
And why was he content with being sent to jail?
He's so weird. It was so weird, the whole scene in the prison. It's strange.
And why does he have his own room?
Why
like with the library?
Like a weird chair, like, it was weird. It was weird. Like, there's so many questions unanswered.
The real villain is Shu Takumi.
All of this because Phoenix beat you at a poker game. That's the reason you're gonna give us.
No.
So bad.
I'm proper fuming.
Me at Shu Takumi. I'm proper fuming while I'm fixing a mistake. Before I fix your face.
It's us and Adele at the banquet hall at the Cohdopian and the embassy.
Yeah. And Adele, doing the gun sign with her hands.
We are doing the gun sign in the selfie where in
Adele,
the background,
yeah.
Kirkus Alba is coming out of the toilet with bloody hands.
Yeah. What a time to be
I've
alive.
had this picture the whole time, love.
I posted it on my story. Don't check my story.
We can't make that episode you suggested because now I just want Adele to be in Turnabout and Blaze.
Yeah, I get that. It's a hard dilemma.
Okay.
My fifth question is, two of them are final case villain, if you count Dahlia.
Yes.
Who would you like to see as one? So who would you promote? It was kind of went back to your question, but who would you see as a final case villain?
Also, I just noticed I also have 8.
You do?
I do have 8.
A plot twist. Is yours Where is Larry?
No.
Nah.
Is it yours?
No. No, it isn't.
What a time to be alive.
We've finally been freed from the Larry curse. Look at us.
Living in my picture.
Look at us.
Banging on my hotline.
Life sure is sweet.
It is. Final case victim.
Victim or villain?
Villain,
Yeah.
sorry. Honestly, just for the shits and giggles of it, I'd say Frank saw it.
Frank saw it as the mastermind.
You get to the Hazakura temple and you do all this research and Elise dies and you find out it's Misty and you find out that it wasn't Manfred that kicked it all off and Dahlia and everything. It was actually Frank saw it.
He creeps off a corner of the Zakura temple.
I would die
in his
of terror.
purple suit.
I would die in terror.
Scarier than Dogen.
Absolutely. So yeah, just out of the sheer shock value,
definitely.
I'd be scared shitless.
Completely
It'd be like a creepypasta moment, and the screen glitching. Oh Jesus!
And he's smile turning kind of evil. You know what I mean? That would be insane. Yeah.
What about you, bestie?
I was thinking Horace Knightley. What if you get to the end of this vacation too, and you realize both Simon and Horace are there?
Aww.
So someone you've put behind bars and someone you've defended.
And the love story.
And they did it together to get revenge.
While they were boning.
Exactly.
Childhood friends.
Lovers. So yeah.
Gina, you're unhinged. That's a reference.
I'm unhinged, darling.
I'm unhinged, darling. You have no filters. Swearing doesn't matter.
Maybe Lydia could wash your vagina.
Everyone who's listening, go watch Real Housewives of Melbourne.
I mean, if they follow you on Tumblr, they've made that association a long time ago.
Every time we promote, weekly promotion of Turnabout podcast means Gina Liano gif. It's a set.
It's a tradition.
Yes. Her walking to court.
In her little outfit.
In her barrister outfit. Oh my god, she's so cute. I can't believe they haven't brought her back.
They need to give her every single million of the planet. What's your next question?
My next question, bestie Sok, is: Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice use extended first episodes in order to establish the tone and setting of the game. Do you think this called for better villains, or would you scrap this idea altogether?
I have a similar question to this.
Really?
I mean, my question was, do you think First Case Villain set the tone for the game? So it's not the same, but it's kind of similar.
Should we answer both?
Yeah. I think that in a way they all kind of do it.
Right.
But not... It's subtle in the first games. Frank saw it screams local, and I feel like the first game is very local, all in the same neighborhood. Richard Wellington screams a bit more camp, and that's exactly what the second game is. Third case is Dahlia, so it's gonna be a recurring character. Gavin is shit. Polo Justice is shit. You know what I mean? I think there's a link. The violence of this woman towards this game and this case is unbelievable.
No.
But I stand by it. So I think they all do it. The difference is that
Don't.
what?
You're gonna piss off our subscribers. Just say it's brown, please. Please, lady.
Shit is brown. So
there we go.
Okay. It's not to my liking. I don't like this game.
Yes.
I understand why people would. I get it.
Honestly, you can own it.
It's not.
We hate certain aspects.
I don't like the game, but I don't think it's absurd that people would. Like, I totally understand why people like it. And I'm
like
not
when
judging
we
you guys.
basically crucified Thomas Game Dogs for liking it.
The bullying continues. But yeah, it's just that's what it is. I will rephrase it. Kristoph, Gavin is
you can say it. It's just that I hope to anyone who's listening, either a subscriber or not, that
I understand
we all have our opinions.
It's just I dislike it for very personal reasons as well. Like, it kind of shattered the franchise in my head because of Phoenix treatment and everything. But it's not a bad game. It's just I feel like the first case set the tone for what I would feel about the game. So I think they've done it before, but it's always in a very subtle way. It's not like they don't give the whole game away with the first case, and I feel like it was a bit too on the nose with the first case of Dual Destiny and Spirit of Justice. However, I do like when all of the cases are linked, and so I do appreciate that kind of effort and like
especially investigations too.
Investigations too, even like I liked it. I like that kind of element. What about you?
This is the second time tonight you've managed to sold me on something.
Yes.
But
victory.
And it does make sense what you're saying, but I don't quite agree. I think for me, what it sets is not the tone, but the quality. Because I don't really like Tectonate.
Well, that's a good point, yeah.
And I don't really like Peace, Love, and Understand. And sure enough, I didn't like the rest of that game. Whereas Jacques Sportsman, for example, was kind of bland and boring, and that's how I like Investigations 1 is very mediocre, but the first 3 villains of the trilogy it sets out like their camp, they're over the top, and that's exactly what you're gonna get.
Yeah, kooky characters. That's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that. It's almost like you'd play the first case and know whether or not you're gonna enjoy the game.
But I don't like this idea of giving them extended episodes and cases just for it to set the tone. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't depend on that. Even if you Tectonate blows up the like courthouse, it's symbolism for the dark age of the law. No, if the writing isn't good, it's not gonna support that initial idea. I'm
definitely.
Sorry. It's just
Agreed.
a concept. Because then you just have Aristotle means repeated 1,000 times. It still matters nothing to me.
Show us, don't tell us.
Exactly.
And a blown up courtroom is not really showing us anything.
No. It'd be nice symbolism if the writing was there.
Like, if Blackwell at every trial presented false evidence and we had to work our way around it, proving that it didn't match this crime scene, that it was forged, and him not even being expelled for, like, you know what I mean? That would show us, and that would be a nice new gameplay.
Our minds sometimes just surpasses me.
Hire us! We will work for very little money.
I'll work for free.
I'll work for free as well. Reluctantly, but I'll do it. No, not reluctantly. I'd love to work for free. But just hire us.
Yes.
Look at this. Look at this brain filled with ideas.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your consideration, Paul Button.
Adele. We're bringing Adele to the team as well.
Paul Button and Adele would be best friends. Adele should show up in the Justine Courtney video game.
Yeah, and Paul Button would his baton would be her selfie stick.
Yes, and they'd share donuts.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Should I ask the question or you? Because we use both.
So this would be your 7th?
This would be my 6th.
Okay, go ask it.
Okay. Go ask it where?
There.
I am going.
Thank you.
You know what? I am gonna leave.
Thank you, Nikki.
So.
Ménage.
Question number 6. Initially, Turnabout Sisters was supposed to be the first case of the first game. Would you rather have Red, White, and April May be the first villains ever?
No. Because you wouldn't have cared about Mia dying.
No.
And I like that they have so much space to be the... Red, White, this is not my favorite character ever, but April May is so much fun. And we wouldn't have the bellboy. So that would be devastating.
How? Wait, why?
If it was a first case.
Well, it doesn't mean that it wasn't going to be investigation.
You think?
I think if they had it be the first case.
It would be like the way it was?
Yeah.
Still don't
Can
think
you
it would
imagine
work.
if first cases had investigations?
Nah. I don't like that. You need to be like... It's like when you go into the pool. You need like baby steps first.
Yes.
What do you think?
I agree. I can't... Although Red, White, I was thinking... I was thinking of saying him instead of Florent Labelle for my question of which villain would you demote to first case status. Because of this fact. But... I don't know. You're right. I'm happy you brought up the thing about Mia because you're right. I wouldn't have a connection to her. And I think just Frank saw it as just such an integral part of like the Ace Attorney tapestry. I can't imagine the series without him. It just feels like moving forward, he just set the way for first case villains. Because these are not villains. They're just like Looney Tune characters.
Yeah. They're goons.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like like henchmen. They're not like the full villain.
No, because you can put them away without even investigating.
Exactly. They're so easy to catch.
And just if Red White was the first villain, I'd be like, oh, it's just like villain after villain.
Yeah.
Whereas like the first case villain for me is just like...
There's a progression in evilness. Yeah.
That kooky kook.
Yeah. Aww.
Yeah.
You
exactly.
naughty.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, a few episodes back when you kept saying about Kristoph Gavin, when you were imitating his voice because he showed up our court and he was like, I've been a naughty boy.
Oh no, what if somebody caught me? What if somebody discovered I was the murderer? I would get a good spanking.
Okay, side note, I've been thinking this for like maybe 3 weeks and keep forgetting to mention it. When I was editing the episode, the Each Case as an Animal song color, you said that one of the cases is a lion because of the president of Zhengfa. Was it the first one or the last one?
The first one.
Of investigations too?
The first one.
I just, when I was editing it, I felt so sad because I felt like it was a missed opportunity. If
what?
Like the president woke up to like John Marsh and said, I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't your dad.
I could unfortunately see that. I feel like a man that's so well groomed and is working towards his goal of being a lion would incorporate into his speech.
Yes.
He would do it in a way where people would be like, you really look like a lion. You remind me of a lion. He would be like, really? Are you lying? You know what I mean? Like he'd try to hypnotize us into thinking he's an actual lion.
If if the president of Zhengfa had custody of John Marsh, let me tell you something. The only thing that kid would watch would be Lion King every night.
That is so true.
He'd
That
be
is
like,
so true.
what do you want to watch? Lion King 1, 2, or 3? Or director's commentary.
Do you want to see a musical? I know a pretty good one that's been going on for years. I feel like he'd point to Simba and be like, that is you. You know what I mean? And like, he'd try to bring
That's your guy.
Yeah. And he'd sit next to the TV, and every time Mufasa would be on, he would strike the same pose nonchalantly, like, as if he did it randomly. Just as if he's like naturally Mufasa. In order to spook John Marsh into thinking he's an actual lion.
I'd be lying.
I feel like he would roar.
Oh.
I feel like he would roar during sex. I'm sorry to say this. I'm sorry to Justin Courtney's sister. I'm not saying he's a furry. But I think
we're not going down that route.
But I think he would do that. Sorry to this man. Or like roar, like for instance when he's working out, he would roar and then like horizontally would like, what the fuck was that? And I'd be like, Did you hear anything? I didn't like, he pretend he didn't know that was happening.
He goes at McDonald's and they tell him they've run out of chicken nuggets, so he goes grrr.
Traumatizing the employees, the 16-year-old working there. He would do that. You sick bastard. You sick man.
How is it that in the span of 8 games, we have a character which is a lion and a character which is Furio Tigre? They would not get along well.
No.
They're similar, but they wouldn't.
I feel like the president would be jealous that everybody can clearly see that Furio Tigre is a tiger.
And that he's claimed it in the name.
He'd be jealous if he's confident.
Whereas like the lion is the king of the pack.
But like the tiger's more of a lone wolf, you know, kind of situation.
Also, the president of Zhengfa probably takes Viagra.
You think?
Yes. We're not gonna
discuss this any further?
No.
But stances were taken.
You've taken the words out of my mouth. So, yeah, Red White should not have been first case villain.
Yeah.
What's your next question, bestie? Sock.
Do you find this list of villain more likable than the other villains?
But was the other list just other villains?
Yeah. All of the other villains. Do you think that in small lists there's enough charisma?
Likeable as in like what we said before, which is like, aww.
Likeable as in you like them.
No.
No?
No. Because if you oppose it to a specific list,
yeah,
I'd say it's like if you opposed it to a specific list, I'm sorry. If you oppose it to a specific list, I'd say it's it would be more likely, like final case villains.
Yeah.
But because of like just standouts like Any Meanie, like Matt and Guard even.
D. Vasquez.
Exactly. I can't.
I do think there are some stellar performances in here, but not enough for them to be...
Even Godot.
Definitely. Just like I feel like even if we were to compare it to the final case villain, if you have Manfred Karma,
well, you have
Matt
2 of them
Guard,
here.
You have Dahlia or Godot.
Yeah.
You have
Kristoph.
You have Queen Garen.
Blackquill.
Black.
Even then, I'd say...
Booby Fulbright.
Yeah. Even then, I'd say that.
Yeah.
I'd like it more.
The
final case villains.
Me too. Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Just
I feel
more,
like they don't compare.
It doesn't have to do with likability more than it has to do with like just
complexity?
strong personalities.
Yeah, and like complexity of character. Yeah. I agree.
Okay. So my penultimate question, bestie Sock, is: do you think the investigation's first case villains make less of an impression because of the absence of a trial? If so, how would you improve them?
yes and no. I feel like in the case of Jack Sportsman, yes. Like, I feel like he could have been a good courtroom first villain, but it was kind of lost in the sauce of the investigation process, if that makes sense.
Lost in the sauce.
Yes. However, with Horace Knightley, I kept thinking that it was such a good first case because it was so, like, you're really in it, interactive. Like, you witnessed a crime, and that's not something you can say for any other first case. And that was so interesting. And it was a very complex case. So I think in that case, the investigation format worked better. But for the first one, no.
Okay, nice answer.
What about you?
I agree that it's yes and no, but for a different reasoning. And that is that I think what the main series titles do right is that they establish that you find guilty people at court, so that when there's a like frequent anomaly to that formula, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's nice to leave the breakdowns and find the truth in trial, but ever so often you get like the Matt and card, which you find out at the detention center, and that is so good because it derives from the formula. And I feel like Horace Knightley strikes that exactly that, like that balance. I couldn't have imagined him being in court. It'd be so boring because his design is nothing special. It's just yellow hair.
His breakdown isn't anything special.
But I like, wasn't it something with the gun? Like him twisting it or something.
Yeah, it was something along those lines.
Like, it's not that interesting. But I feel like it's such an interesting concept because of the locked room
scenario.
Yes. And I feel like it's just like Matt and Guard. Whereas with Jack Sportsman, you could have done so much with animation. And the sprites, like him in his breakdown, like throwing basketballs, baseballs, like sports equipment. Whereas in Investigations, it just doesn't work because he's just holding his jacket.
Yeah.
And like, okay.
Yeah, cool, I guess.
You do not like sports, sir.
Nah. Stop lying to us.
Yes. What is your last?
My final question is, pick one to kill you.
To kill me?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Or to kill your worst enemy, if you don't want to think about that.
No, I'd say kill me. But honestly, I'd like to be remembered when I die. And if that means going out in a Looney Tunes way, then I'd pick Richard Wellington.
Yeah, a very cartoonish way. He threw like an anklet on you. You know, like
And what's it called? Anvil. An anvil.
Yeah.
He'd take out a huge hammer and just bash me on the head.
Yeah. He would like paint a tunnel on a rock, and you'd be driving and you'd smash into it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that.
Honestly, if the question involved the villain spitting into my mouth, I'd say Horace Knightley.
How would that kill you? Poison?
No, just before he killed me, he spit in my mouth.
Lovers to enemy.
I want to see Horace Knightley's kids.
My
I'm gonna bleep that out. Just for old time's sake.
Yeah, when we're shy. I would have to say Dahlia. I feel like she would do it efficiently. And it wouldn't hurt.
I think you'd still hurt. Electrocution? Poison?
She didn't do that on purpose.
The two...
But she's such a girl boss. I would watch her as I'm dying and just be like, girl boss. Girl boss would be my last words.
You'd die and be like, slay! Bibi Rexa. Slay! Yes.
Absolutely. What is your last question?
But I can't believe she's the one with the most painful murder methods. It's not efficient. Poison?
What can I say? I still like her.
Okay, that's reasonable. My last question is fuck, marry, kill this list.
I almost did that. But
it was the telepathy that stopped you.
I would kill Kristoph Gavin.
The roach.
The roach. I would smash the roach with my fist. I would. I'm hesitating between Richard Wellington and Jack Sportsman for have sex with. Potentially Jack Sportsman, and I feel like I would try to sense out if it was a real sports player, either during or after the act. I feel like he would drop his guard then, and I would marry Dahlia. She would be... We would be like in You. She would be my love, or my Joe, you know, like a little serial killer partner.
Absolutely, she would.
What about you?
I would marry Horace Knightley.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously. I'd kill... I'd kill Tetonate just to avenge...
The Queen, Candace Arms.
Queen of Bobs. And honestly, knowing me, I'd fuck Jacques Sportsman, but I've recently made the decision to like try stuff which I don't really like, and by recently I mean 3 minutes ago. So
that is
I'd
recently.
say
You didn't lie. Yeah.
No, I do not lie. I'd say peace, love, and understanding. I'd fuck him. Yes, because he'd probably offer me mushrooms before and then play me a song on his guitar.
He would. Yeah, he would be on he would say the most insane stuff. It would be an experience for sure. It would be like tantric sex.
Definitely like chemsex, drugs, and then a song. It might not be a good song, but I don't think
It'll be a song.
I don't think I'd mind after being
Perfect. Lovely. On that note.
delightful.
Family friendly content.
Is it made for kids?
Sure.
It is not.
On that note, this wraps up the podcast.
That's a very ASMR outro.
Yes. I feel like I'm descending into madness right now.
On that note,
Please call me at this number. I'm very lonely. No. On that note.
yes.
Goodbye, you guys. Thank you for listening to the podcast till the end.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you so much for making it to the end. We'll see you next week.
For a very special
episode. And a very special time to be alive.
Living in a picture.
Begging out my hotline.
Very true, bestie. Bestie.
Doja Cat will be our guest next week.
Yes,
Cat's out of the bag.
That's the special announcement. That's how we started talking about the I'd Be Lying. If you were doing the Kristoph, I'm so naughty.
Yeah. I've been a bad boy. That's Kristoph.
I hope no one catches me.
Oh no. Look where I stumbled. The courtroom from the murder I did. Oh no.
It's that weasel from the Barbie. I'll play it. I'll put it up.
Perfect. Excellent. Yeah.
Your little friend will do. Give him to me. Allow me, mistress.
That's him in the
You
flesh.
have to send it to me.
I will.
So, bestie sock. What are we doing after this?
I'm gonna try to drink as much tea as I can. I'm gonna replace all of the water in my body with tea. In order to boost up my immune system. What about you, bestie? Shoop.
Bestie soup?
Shoop.
The Shoop Shoop song, Share.
Does he love me?
I want to know.
How can I tell
If he loves me so?
Is it in his eyes? Oh no, you'll be deceived. Is it in his arms? Oh no, they'll make believe. If you wanna know,
Shoop, shoop,
if
shoop,
he really
shoop,
knows
shoop,
it's
shoop,
in his
shoop,
skin.
shoop, shoop. There it is. Oh yeah.
Such a brilliant song.
Bestie Shoop.
I was listening to it 3 years ago, 4 or 3 years ago, while intensely daydreaming about Jake Gyllenhaal. I was in my Jake Gyllenhaal phase.
You bitch.
We share, yeah, he's your husband. We dated. It wasn't a big deal. It was like kind of a fling. Sorry about that.
No, I'm gonna steal Phoenix.
No!
So, what am I doing next,
What are
Bestie
you doing?
Sock? I think I'm gonna walk home and drink 3 gallons of water. Because you might go with tea,
Yeah.
but I'll go with basic as water.
The night of hydration.
Yes.
We are staying active with fluids. We're drinking our fluids. We're drinking
That sounded very nasty.
It wasn't, but I do understand how it sounded. Yeah, I like that. I love that for you. Stay hydrated.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. On that note, we'll see you guys next week. Have a great week. Have a great weekend.
Or week.
Or week.
Because it's going up on Monday.
Yeah. Well, upcoming weekend.
Yes.
In the next days. And we love you. Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Ciao.